All right, I know what some of you may be thinking after seeing the thumbnail and then the intro clip. Hey, I thought Angela was an organized person. I thought that her family were minimalists. And this is what I would call a moment of chaos in our home. And this is not what our kitchen normally looks like, but I have started an organization project here in the kitchen, and after I had it kind of torn apart, I thought to myself, maybe my viewers would like to see that even someone who's organized has moments like this in their home. And so what I'm doing today is I am going to be completely reorganizing and cleaning up my kitchen. And I decided to start this project today for a few different reasons. Number one, my husband and sons are out of town this weekend, and so that kind of frees up the kitchen. I'm not going to be doing as much cooking. Number two, it's a rainy day, so a perfect time to stay indoors and tackle something like this. And number three, I just got groceries yesterday, and I have a little space in the kitchen that I want to make a sort of pseudo pantry, and I want to see that it will work when I have a full stash of groceries available. So when we first moved into Arrow Hill Cottage about a year or so ago, we kind of just put things in drawers and cabinets in the kitchen somewhat logically, but we kind of just put stuff in there knowing that it might not be its final place. I feel like you need to really use the space before you can fully know what functions best for you. We do have plans to add some shelving on either side of the window that's above the sink, and also some subway tile as a backsplash. And I think I've kind of been putting off this organization project until now because I was thinking I needed those items in place before I could really make this kitchen fully functional. And I just decided that I'm just not gonna wait any longer. I'm just gonna do the organization I want to in the shelves and cabinets that I do have, and I will deal with moving those items onto the open shelves when the time comes. All right, the first order of business today is I want to get these 6 drawers set up as kind of a pseudo pantry space. I want this entire side of the kitchen to be food storage. And the top drawers over here, I'm going to make into a little accessible snack area for our kids and have like those quick grab and go type of things in there. And so I bought some organizers at Target yesterday that I'm going to use to kind of divide the drawer up into smaller areas that will hopefully help to keep this space nice and neat going forward. One tip I've found to help these organizer trays stay into place is using this Fun Tack product. Just put a little on each of the back corners, press firmly into the drawer, and they stay put. Have a large set of china or porcelain plates, but we found that we don't use them very often. For one reason is because they do get kind of hot to the touch if there's hot food on them or if they've been in the microwave. And also because we kind of worry about chips and dings, and they're just a little bit fancy. And we have mostly been eating off of our plastic dinnerware, and that is getting kind of old, especially for my oldest boys. They don't like the idea of the little divider tray thing. It feels kind of babyish to them, which I totally get. So we are actually getting rid of both the china and the plastic dinnerware, and we've instead purchased some simple white Corelle brand dishes that we will be able to use on a daily basis. And again, those are going to be eventually nicely displayed on some shelving, and I'm just really excited about the simple look of them and the functionality that they should bring. now seems like as good a time as any to give each drawer and cabinet a thorough wash down. Alright, so this point in the process is even more chaotic than before. It seems like I've got everything kind of laying out and hardly anything in the cabinets yet. But yeah, I am making progress. Moving all of the food items from this side over to this side so we can have kind of that pantry space, and it's going to be really nice having all the food kind of located in one area. And I'm also going to be moving the dishes that we have over to the Lazy Susan on the right side of the sink, just as a temporary spot until we can get those shelves installed where they will be permanently. For a family of 7, there is quite a bit of food storage needs, and as I've mentioned before, we don't have a pantry here at the cottage, which is something we did intentionally, but I am feeling pretty good about designating about half of the kitchen towards food storage and the other half towards the tools and the different items that are needed to do the cooking. Couple more things that need to be moved. I've got all of these pots and pans here in this cabinet. I'm going to move them to the Lazy Susan as well on the lower shelf. And then this cabinet here is going to become a pull-out garbage and recycling station. And right now our garbage is situated underneath the sink, and it's kind of low and inconvenient and kind of clunky to get to, and so this would be a good location for the garbage. I already do have the hardware and everything for that, but this is not a project that I would be taking on myself. I'm going to wait till my husband is home to help me get that installed. But I do need to at least empty this cabinet so that it's ready to go when he gets here. And I'm also going to be moving the spices that are currently in this cabinet with a couple of Lazy Susans. And that area, again, is not super user-friendly. I have to kind of bend down, crouch down to get the spices I want whenever I'm cooking. And so they're going to be moving into this drawer with a little drawer organizer for spices and the little glass jars, and it will just be super handy in here right next to the stove when I'm cooking. So I'm really excited about that as well. This drawer houses the strangest collection of items. It's the widest drawer in the kitchen, and somehow through the past year it has become sort of an office drawer for me, which is a place that I keep charging cords, internet cables, paperwork that I'm looking at, and things like that. But I do have plans to move all of these items, which are used regularly, to a different location. So the plan today is to clear this drawer out completely and restock it with items that make sense to be here, such as pot holders, dish towels, can opener, and things like that. I'm not actually going to be doing anything with this cabinet, but I thought I would show you inside of it anyway. It's where we keep all of our small appliances, such as the toaster, the electric kettle, a mini food processor, and we also keep our large mixing bowls, some cookie sheets, and baking dishes. It's a really hard-working cabinet, but it does function really well as is. Alright, it's a week later and my husband's back from his trip, and so we're going to tackle the last two bits of organization in this kitchen. He's going to work on the pull-out garbage and recycling bins, and I'm going to work on the spice drawer. So we ordered a couple things online. This little spice drawer liner, instead of an actual rack, it actually just kind of goes into the drawer and holds the spices in place. I don't know, we'll see how it works. It got pretty good reviews online. And then I got these glass jars that come with labels that have a bunch of different spices, but if it doesn't include a spice that I have, I can write my own spice name on it. And I can link both of these items down below in the description box if you're interested in something similar. I'm really excited to get all these different size spice containers consolidated into the glass jars. It's going to just be nice to have everything looking uniform and located right next to the stove for when I'm cooking. This spice drawer liner was actually really easy to get a custom fit for the drawer. It's a kind of a dense foam material and it cut really easily, and then I just used the fun tack material again to make sure that the strips of the liner stayed into place. Overall, I would say that the installation of the pull-out garbage system was pretty easy. The part that actually gave Craig the most difficulty was taking out the shelf that was already in the cabinet. One thing though that we aren't 100% happy about is that when you pull out the garbage containers, the back one isn't fully accessible. And I found some different ideas online where they actually take the cabinet face off and use that as the pull, and it seems to give a little bit more clearance. So that's something that we will probably be upgrading to in the future, but for now this system is an upgrade from what we had, and it's going to be working just fine for us. It was a lot of work to deep clean and organize the kitchen, but I do think that it's going to function better moving forward now that things are in what I consider to be a more logical spot. And now the kitchen's ready for the next phase of the process when we add our open shelving and our subway tile. And at that point, we're going to be able to fine-tune even more to get the organization that we want. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you'd like to see more about our minimalist home, please subscribe to this channel. And as always, I hope you'll stop by the cottage again really soon. Bye.